Alright, so day 48, if I can recall. Yeah, we're on day 48 now in this POV video, little series I got going on here. But today I kind of have I think I already have some critiques about how this little series is going on. But in the meantime I'm going to try to find a nice location or a nice photo scene to capture. But in the meantime, I'm gonna kind of talk about how I kind of personally feel of how this little series is going. So I've already stated for the last couple of videos as far as the workflow. I'm not gonna say much about that because you guys already have an idea as far as how the workflow is not really affecting me, but mostly just the consistency of the videos I'm trying to publish, right? You know, because back then my goal was to upload every day, right? But with this style of videos, I've already stated that it's a little bit difficult, but that's nothing to complain about. Again, like I stated, sometimes quality over quantity. That just may be my personal take. What I kind of want to talk about is, I guess, the same style of photos I am consistently taking, because it was mostly, well, as I'm recording this video, I just finished uploading day 46 last night, and I guess in that time when I was uploading the video, or really in the editing process, kind of took some time, and I kind of really thought to myself, you know, is there something else I can do differently with this little series we got going on? Because if you guys look, for the ones that follow me on Instagram, they kind of have a little way as to check in, you know, the photos I post on, or the end results of these videos that I'm creating, right? The past 3 days or so, well, as you're seeing this, the past 3 days, they've been kind of the same photos, primarily being in the quote-unquote forest. And I don't know, to me personally, I don't know if I actually like that. I have stated that, you know, with these POV style videos that I'm trying to create, I have stated that, you know, that due to my work schedule, it's going to be nearly impossible for me to create some videos while I'm on the go, right? But I still try to find some time, you know, whether that's in my work schedule or really at this point in my personal life, to kind of see what I can capture. And not saying that I haven't captured nothing, but it's just on the fact of me creating these POV style, at least with my X4 currently right now, it's just a little bit difficult to accomplish that. So to kind of combat that, I may have some few ideas that I could try, that I'll get into, that I'll talk about in just a sec. But right now, I think as I'm seeing it, I think we might be arriving to our first location. Yeah, it kind of rained a little bit the past couple of days or so. So it's gonna be a little bit, I don't know if it's gonna be too noisy for you guys to hear. I'm gonna try my best to raise up the volume afterwards, but right now I kind of caught myself in a little bushy area. So right now what I'm gonna do is just find a nice spot to capture, I guess, the seamless water flow, which I think where my dog is right now. And once I arrive there, we should set up the camera and start off with the first photo of the video. Alright, depending, I truly don't know how the sound quality is gonna be, but I'm just gonna have to pray and see if I can do something about it after or in the editing process, but we'll see. So right now, as we stated previously, we kind of got this little waterfall effect going on here my plan originally was to kind of create once again that dreamy look, but since we're gonna be now using my 18 to 55 millimeter or 18 to 50 millimeter f2.8 Sigma lens, that's just not gonna be the case. And since we don't have a polarizer, again, that's just not gonna be the case with the long exposure effect. But I'm currently trying to find a nice solution to my little filter quote unquote problem I got going on. I'm still in the process of looking for a solution, but I think we should find one hopefully soon. So right now what we're just gonna plainly do is take a nice photo of this waterfall effect. Maybe if we can try to capture maybe in, I don't know, just a simple photo, capturing it in, I guess, in stop motion, I guess that's what you call it. So maybe if we were to raise up or to zoom in to the 50 millimeter, take off the sensitive if there's no need, although we could put it on just so that there's no sun glare in this photo at least. So right now we got it at say if we were to put it at 1/500, maybe zoom out, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe raise up the f-stop to maybe 5.6, decrease the shutter speed 1/400 so we can get a little bit of exposure. Again, I tend to like to shoot my photos underexposed, and then hopefully I can kind of regain back the exposure in the editing process. That's just personally how I work. So we'll see. So what I'm gonna do right now, since it's a single shot lens or a single shot photo, I'm gonna put the focus area to wide. See what happens. Again, with this situation, I would tend to normally go for that dreamy effect, or with like that slow shutter effect, but again, that would need long exposure, and I don't have that currently. Yeah, and even if I try to attempt to do that, that's just personally not going to work out. So what we're just going to do is we'll continue on with what we were doing, take a couple photos. Maybe if we get one, maybe even a little bit more zoomed out. Alright, I think that should be enough photos for this one scene. Again, I don't know how the audio quality is going to be. I'm only going to find out once I'm editing this video, but we'll move on to our next photo scene and we'll see what we can capture. So I think I think the last thing that I talked about before starting with the photo scene is regarding about, the status of me with these videos. I have to, it's got to be soon, I have to think of not primarily a solution, but I guess another way as far as to make these videos a little bit more interesting. And or mostly not on the fact that making these videos more interesting, but to kind of come up with just another solution. Because right now I currently have, let's say, give or take, I need to really go ahead and sit down and see which photos are good or not, but I say roughly about maybe 10 to 20 photos that I've taken, just not shooting this style of videos. And so maybe what I possibly might start doing, but I would really need to think about it, because like it's just gonna add on more. It's gonna add on top of my workflow. Maybe I just start creating shorts, TikToks, I guess what you can call it, or Instagram reels, right? Because I know in this day and age, nobody likes to see 20-minute long videos of anything anymore, because they just want to see it within a 1-minute video, right? So maybe with the photos that I've that I'm capturing that I'm not able to do this, right? Take out my X4 and kind of do what I'm doing right now. Maybe what I might do is I might start creating shorts slash TikToks slash Instagram Reels, whatever you guys want to call it. So then that way here, I don't feel like those photos that I'm taking are for nothing, right? Because I personally like to believe that every photo that I take is for a good reason, right? I don't want it to just be stored in my memory card and just used up for nothing, right? So we kind of got something here, but again, due to the filter situation I got going on, that's just not gonna be the case. So maybe what I might do is I might do something differently, but I will need to find a good photo scene. So let me hopefully try to find one, and then I'll kind of explain what my plan is. So I'm gonna be testing something differently with this photo scene. All right, the reason why I said I'm gonna test that, or that I'm gonna do something differently, is because I stated what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong, I like doing, but I feel like it's gotten a little bit repetitive. Maybe not only for you guys, but to be honest, even for me. So I want to test out something different. I don't know if I can recall, or I don't know if I included it in my video or in a previous video, that maybe I should just tend on to maybe just look for the little details, right? Just the little things, not worrying too much about, you know, the creek or the river I got here, or the, you know, whatever the case may be, the photo scene that I got. Maybe just the small details, whether that's, you know, a tree, some leaves, or whatever the case may be. So that's what primarily I'm going to do for this photo. We kind of got this little pile of leaves slash bushy area. Well, if we don't include my dog here, we kind of got this little patch of leaves slash plants, I guess you could call it. So what I'm just gonna do is I'm just simply gonna take a photo of this pile of leaves, and I want to see, because this is mostly a test for myself as well, I want to see what happens, not just while taking the photo, but mostly in the editing process. I want to see if I can create something different, unique, maybe a little bit special in a way, right? That's just primarily what the photo is going to be about. So I kind of got already my settings kind of set up. I'm at 1/160, f2.8 with ISO 100, but depending on the situation, I may have to either raise up the shutter speed or possibly raise up the ISO, but we'll just see what happens. So right now, I want to primarily focus on this thing. So again, just small detail photo, nothing too over the top. Maybe if I were to zoom out a little bit, just so I can include more of the trees, or not trees, of the leaves nearby, maybe we should be good. Again, it's really, in all fairness, it's going to be an experimental photo. I'm going to have to really see if it's good or not, but we'll see. So maybe if I take one more at a different focal length, we may be good. And again, like I stated, I want to primarily I want to take extra photos just for whatever. Alright, I think with those photos, we should be good. Again, this is really mostly a test for myself and just to see what would happen for any case. Maybe I should have done that since the beginning. Maybe I should have done this as an experimental video and gone out and do other things like what I'm doing right now. I don't know. Maybe I might do that for the next photo that we may do, because I want to do something different, like I've stated. I want to do something different, not trying to find a good photo scene. And if I find one, we'll see what happens. But I'm gonna take another look, depending on if I find anything or not. I may just shoot one or possibly two more photos, and we'll call it the end for this video. But I'm just gotta look around and see what else I can find in my backyard, but we'll see what happens. So after some time searching, and mostly because I had forgotten my little tripod in the last photo scene, so I had to take a few minutes trying to go back and find it. After some time, we're gonna kind of continue the experiment from the last photo scene, and we're gonna shoot this plant that we got in front of us. Again, what's gonna be my primary goal with this? To be honest, I have no clue. We may not even need the tripod because the tripod may be unstable here, so we'll just have it out just for whatever the case may be. We're gonna attempt to do the same style of photography that we did in the last photo scene, which is primarily just focusing on the little details that we got in this plant. So in this photo, or at least in this scene, since I don't know if you guys can tell, it's gotten a little bit cloudy since last clip, right? So now the scene has gotten a lot dimmer, so we're probably gonna have to raise up our ISO just slightly, a little bit, but not too much. But overall, I think we should be good or how we have it so far. So right now, I will just move my things off to the side, choose a focus point, see where we would wanna focus on, and maybe if I were to have it from an angle from the top, maybe that may be an option. So what I might do actually is from the top. Let's see what we find. I'm trying to level my camera. We have no issues, but we'll see here. Again, same settings or a little bit altered settings. 1/320, f2.8, and ISO 320. It's a little bit altered, but I'm going to take different angles here just in case if I didn't like the first angle, I have a different angle so we can see here. For the focus, since I want to also kind of talk about this, for the little focus I have right now, I kind of have it, how to say this? Expand flexible spot. That's what the focus is. And what that just does is that just allows me to kind of set a point that I want the camera to focus on, whether it's the top of a portion of the leaf or a certain section of the plant, whatever the case may be. I tend to have that. I was mostly experimenting with that, to be honest, yesterday when I went to DC with my parents. Again, I didn't record that because I just didn't have the opportunity, but I did take some photos that I don't want to spoil anything, but if I do end up deciding on making shorts, you may see them shortly in the shorts, TikToks, Instagram Reels, whatever you want to call them, right? So that occurred, and I was just playing around, seeing what I can come up with, but that's primarily why I'm using this right now, since we kind of have a subject that's not moving. I know there's a certain word, but I can't think of it right now. Not a non-movable object. I'm just simply gonna call it like that. So that's why I kind of have it to that setting. Because personally speaking, I like how that is. You see, there's a little spider here. But what I'm gonna do again, I'm just taking different angles of this plant and seeing what we can come up with. I kind of have my ISO a little bit too high, so we're just going to lower it back down to 320. See at this angle the way how I have it. I think good. So again, just trying to readjust or adjust the focus, expandable focus spot. Like maybe from up above. Alright, we got that. We got another one. I think we should be good. I'm really gonna decide which one I'm gonna decide on showing for you guys right now. So that concludes this photo scene. Depending on if I find anything else or not. The last photo may be the same thing that we're attempting, experimenting for this video. And if I can't find anything else, then the hell, that's just gonna be the end of this video. But I'm gonna try to find one more spot. But if I can't, then that's just gonna have to be it. But let me try to go ahead and find one more spot, and we'll see what I can find. I don't think I needed to search for a long time, because I kid you not, the last photo scene was just back there, and I just stumbled across this nice. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me go ahead and show it to you guys. I don't know if you guys can see it now, but I just saw this nice little, I don't know what you would call this, to be honest. I truly don't know what you would call this, but this nice little section of, I guess, my backyard. I don't know. I just saw it. That's, for me at least, I just happened to stumble across it, and I just thought to myself, well, yep, this is gonna be the last photo scene for this video. So I can already say, if we had, or I'm also looking for the camera, if we had my big cam, or my big stand, my big tripod, I would have utilized it for this one. But since we don't, we're gonna have to take the photo standing up, which it's no issue, but depending on the lighting conditions, it may be a little bit of a challenge. But since we got a little bit decent light now, since it's no longer cloudy, or at least how it was a couple minutes ago, we should have no issues. Again, for this photo, I'm gonna try to include as much elements as possible. So we're gonna stick to the 18 to 50 millimeter lens. So what I'm first gonna do with the 18 millimeters, the widest focal length that I have right now to offer, I'm gonna kind of use my backpack as a tripod, and I'm primarily gonna focus on the middle. Maybe possibly the way how this angle is looking like, it's looking like a lead-in line in a way. Kind of guides the viewer as far as where to look at, which, to be honest, it just be in the center. It just be in the center, nothing too crazy for this case. Let me just take extra photos, and actually, believe it or not, the way how this is looking like, it actually may look pretty good. Because I actually really like how it's coming out, just as I'm taking it right now. So yeah, as I'm looking at it, it actually looks pretty nice. But we'll see. Maybe possibly one more photo or another angle, and then that should be it. And the last angle would probably be, just as I stated previously, just me standing here, just normally just taking, I guess, a landscape photo. So I'm gonna level it out again towards the center, kind of have that lead in line, and take some just extra photos just for whatever reason. Maybe I might raise up the, you know what, no, I was gonna say raise up the f-stop, but we have enough of that. What we're gonna do is just, again, take more, and depending on how I may feel, hell, I may even include both angles, because I kind of like actually both angles. So depending on how I feel, I may actually include both angles. So, well, that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy the little experiment that I'm kind of testing with this video. I'm gonna really see if it's gonna be unique or not. I'm gonna really primarily see the worst case scenario. I'm just gonna clip it out and pretend nothing happened. But I think overall, I think we got some pretty decent, again, it may be kind of repetitive photos, but I think it's pretty decent, and I'm trying really hard to be more unique with these photos, especially as I've looked over in my past POV videos. I need to think of something, like I stated. But also, kind of like what I've stated previously, I may go ahead and start doing shorts. I would need to still heavily decide on that, because that's just another workflow on top of my already possibly busy schedule that I will need to include, but we'll see what happens. But that's all I have for this video, believe it or not. Not too much to say here, but also in a way a lot to say, depending on how what's gonna be, I guess, the quote-unquote next step in the journey, or at least for me, right? But we'll see what happens. I have a lot of thinking to do. I have a lot of thinking to do as far as what's the next step for this. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be seeing you guys, hopefully, on day 49. I'll hopefully be seeing you guys on day 49.